Hello. I guess the other clip didn't play, but
It's all right.
I was
What's
waiting
up,
for
man?
it to play and then it didn't go. How is it going?
Going great. How you doing?
This is doing all right. This is literally the first time basically we got to say actually hi to each other because I was almost late again.
I'm just gonna check and see if I'm live on my channels. Oh, yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was
sweet.
about to try to do. Welcome to the show, everyone. Who we'll wait for a few minutes to get into topics, but we'll kind of talk around for a minute. Um, I am Josh from Daddy Delp Disc Golf, and to my side over here
I
is
am Josh from Basinger's Disc Golf channel. Let's make it as complicated as possible.
heck yeah, Josh
Josh
and
and Josh.
Josh.
Joshua Aaron.
Who would have thought us naming this joshing around would have been better? Because that was thrown around by was it Amanda that said that, or
Hey,
was
Josh
that who said that?
McCauley. I said what?
Was it Amanda that said that originally that we should have named it just joshing around
I think it was. Was that you that said name it just Joshing around?
or just joshing or
She goes. No, a very confident yes.
I'm very confident.
So Josh and Josh are live, and Josh is watching in the comment and commenting here.
Oh, I see
But
that.
Josh McCulley, what's up, guy?
We also have Gru
Groove.
on Despicable Me.
All right. I've never
It's
seen
on
it.
your
So.
side too.
Is it?
Yeah. Heck, I don't got anybody from my channel I don't think watching it. Thank you, viewers and subscribers. I appreciate it.
If anybody's on Josh Delp's channel, if you could kindly switch to my channel, that'd be. No, I'm just joking.
Well, they ain't.
Subscribe to
You
Josh
will
Delp.
be getting zero watchers right now. Well, have you had anything exciting going on this week?
Um, uh, Same kind of stuff as normal. I got to play Kiwanis earlier this week. I played. Me and a buddy Blake played the front nine together and ended up catching up with Adam and Jake from Hitting Chains. I know you know
Oh,
those
really?
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw them. We were on two, teeing off on two, and I saw them over teeing off on four, and we eventually caught up to them. So we just kind of joined in with them and finished out and did. I got to play 9 holes with them. So stay tuned. Maybe Adam. I'm pretty sure Adam filmed me a couple times. So maybe have a couple little cameo shots on the Hitting Chains.
I want to get out and play with them because I haven't got to play with Pickle in a while either. Pickle wasn't with them,
Yeah,
was he?
same. No, he wasn't this time. But I think they had played somewhere earlier in the week. No, actually, Adam told me that was their first full round this week. But we're talking about how little we play. Us content creators. People probably think we're out playing all the time, but we get like 1 round a week, if that. You know what I mean?
No, I mean I tell people that all the time. Like I wouldn't say I play the least of all the disc golfers here, but I would put myself at a good amount of at the bottom of actual rounds I play. Like whenever I go, or either a lot of times if I play around or something like that, I'm filming a video a lot of times, or it's a league or something like that. So yeah, I don't play a whole lot of disc golf. It's a lot of I practice in the yard and
Mm-hmm.
then I film reviews a lot.
Yeah.
I mean that's most of my playing. Like there's dudes that go play 2 or 3 rounds in like 4 days or something like that. I'm like, I don't hardly ever play around actually. Like I get out
Yeah.
every once in a while and I'm like, hey, I'm here and I get to play some. But yeah, it's
I threw
interesting.
9 times this weekend.
9 times.
I filmed 2 pre-walk H-run challenges and then off camera just 4 shots. So
Dang, I'm about to have to give you just the win on the P-Walk thing because I keep forgetting to film them and post them. You're about to win by default.
or the loss because I'm trying every week and missing.
I mean, it's whichever way you want to look at it. No, that's I like Kiwanis. I want to get out there and shoot it again. Well, I will be as long as nothing changes for the Tennessee States thing because I am uh, gonna try to play it. I signed up for it, but I just got to make sure I can get out to it because it's on a Thursday, I believe, right?
The flex, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it has to be because
Maybe
I think.
you and I can play that round together.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. I really would like to do
Yeah.
that. I see old
I'm gonna try and
mother's
talk to Rick.
comment finally.
What's up, mother?
Played
Did
zero
Simon
golf.
win? Listen,
I don't know,
I've,
but
yeah. I'm sorry.
oh, you're good. I'm not sure if he won, but I was seeing he was in the lead
Mm,
here. It was probably like an hour ago or so. He had like one hole left, but like Gannon and them had like 3 or 4 left. So I don't know. I haven't checked that much yet, but at least Mother's here to
yeah.
watch and chat. He wasn't in last time, so um,
Mm,
we've got a few people. So I think we could probably just make sure we get in through some topics and talking and stuff. This one's just gonna be shooting it and trying to talk about some random stuff. That's how we do it here, and just hucking around. Not a huge strict structure on my channel here. I just like talking and having a good time.
right.
Uh, I don't, do you hear a little bit of a high pitch thing on my side?
Not
Let me,
really.
oh, okay. Maybe it's just my
This
headphones.
sounds clean to me. Like everything sounds great to me.
Okay, maybe it's just my headphones then. That's fine. I can deal with the high pitched brain scramblers. Nobody, most of the viewers, I guess, ain't getting it.
I should be
No.
like, no, no, I don't hear anything.
Hey, did y'all do any bird uh, watching today at all?
No,
No.
no.
I watched more birds than you did today.
Well, I mean, we saw some, but I saw a red-tailed hawk flying over tonight today, and some blue jays, starlings, robins. Of course, the robins that's attacking our car, but no, we didn't. We didn't get out for any bird watching today. So
Well, so you didn't get to watch any of whatever that tournament's called,
Music City.
Music City.
I've not seen the first throw on at all.
You
I've
know,
not watched any of it. So
it was funny. That tournament I played this past weekend. Whenever I got to play with MJ, he
mhm.
was talking because they were giving out 2 spots for Music City Open
Oh,
from this tournament, the River Valley Masters. And I was like, hey, that'd be cool if I played good enough. I knew I probably wouldn't have been able to, even if I did place to play it. But he was like, I have no desire in playing that.
he's a wooded player, man. He's not.
Yeah, he's on the. He was talking about. He's like, it's just after a while on tour, it gets a little boring because all the long courses. It's just throw along and throw along again and then putt.
Yeah.
It's fun though. Get to play with him. It was definitely an interesting card to get thrown on.
Hmm. That was an awesome car, man.
Yeah, I had fun with it, even though it was my worst round. I had fun with it.
Did you play with Adam one round too at
I
Harmon?
did the last round, yeah.
I thought I heard your voice on a video that Adam put up. He put some video up, and I was like, that sounded exactly like Josh Delp. If that wasn't him, he's got a person that looks just like him and a person that sounds just like him. I hear.
Yeah, I hear that I'm easy to tell whenever I'm on a disc golf course. It's not hard to hear my voice from across the course. Matt and Kayla and them always say, they said, we always know when Josh is on the course because we can always hear him from like 3 holes away. I'm like, I'm not yelling. This
That's
one's just
funny.
loud. I mean, every
Yeah.
now and then I might give it like a yeah. It happens, but I
Um,
mean, I didn't even yell that loud whenever I got that 2 on 15. I was just like, ah.
shoot, I yelled whenever you told me about it. I was like, let's go.
It was cool. That jumped me up a bit. I'm
I
telling
bet.
you. I am telling you, man. I was drilling putts all weekend. I don't know what. Oh, I figured out what's making that high pitched sound in my ear. It's gone. It was a cord. I moved the cord and it stopped. Must have been interfering with my mic or
It's
something
funny.
like that. But yeah, them twoies, man. I was banging putts like crazy. I can't
Mm-hmm.
stop. I'm not going to be allowed to stop talking about them. I was messaging Keith, and he said something about the Tara Edie, and I was like, yeah, and then I'm going to need 100 Magma Soft twoies.
Oh my
I was like, because I
gosh.
can't get any more. I
Yeah,
need.
what do you say about them? Like, are they
Oh,
making
he
any more?
just gave me a thumbs up.
I'll take 50 of those. Thanks.
Yeah, I was just
Appreciate
like, I'm gonna need 100 of those because the putt was good.
it.
No, I'm enjoying them. They're pretty. They've been working for me so far, so I've been enjoying them. But no, I did watch some of Music City, just a couple rounds, and I actually was watching the college disc golf.
Mm.
What is it? College disc golf national championships or something like that. They were having them at North Cove, and there's supposed to be a. Is it a silver series at North Cove or something coming up here? I can't remember. I
I don't know.
don't. They've got it all marked up and stuff though. Hey, Stelly, hi. He's on
No.
your channel
See that.
too.
My guy. Hey, he did comment on one of my videos and said that I was his favorite
Oh yeah.
lefty golfer.
Well, I'm gonna send him a harpoon and a penny putter.
And they'll hate you forever. So
I know because I was supposed to be sending him another disc. So you are getting a harpoon. You're welcome.
there's a
No,
used harpoon at Halo right now if you want to come grab that.
you can send it to Stelly.
I don't want him to
He'll
hate
pay
me.
you. He'll pay you. No, that college disc golf stuff is pretty fun to watch, but it looked brutal for them out there on the gorge. I felt for them from cross states whenever me and Matt played out there blind. Yeah, they like I think they said like 1,000 rated came in at like +3 that day.
Oh my gosh. There's something about knowing a course that I have no chance of shooting under par on before. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I feel like I've lost before because that's kind of that's what I set my goal for myself at my player. Like if I'm even or one under on a course that I've never played, I'm happy. You know what I mean?
I mean
Ju-
that's me. I'm always wanting to shoot under no matter what. Like if I go
yeah.
under, like I don't, it doesn't matter what it is. I just want to shoot under.
Hmm.
And yeah, I understand that for sure. I get aggravated sometimes whenever I shoot even or like +1 at a course, even if it's my first time. Just knowing, like I'm like I should be able to shoot under.
Yeah.
And it's yeah, that one I've not played by myself. I've actually don't think I've ever played any of the North Cove courses solo. I think I've only ever played them at cross states.
Oh wow.
So when we get there, uh, and I play against you and Pickle or whoever like that, then we'll find out if I can shoot under or not.
Me, you, Pickle, and Stelly.
Yeah,
Shoo. Because Stelly, what he's South Carolina, is that right?
no, he's Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Oh, that's right.
He's
That's right.
just like way farther away from me than anybody's in like North Carolina or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he's probably like 8 hours away
Hmm.
or something like that. So it takes forever to get to where he's at. Pretty
That's
sure it's
like that's like what I was talking about with people at the shop earlier this week. Like going into Music City Open, people are going to expect Chris to win. They're going to expect Macy to win because they're Tennessee people. Expect Zach to play good, but people don't realize how long Tennessee is. Like,
oh yeah.
yes, they live in Tennessee, but like I right now, where I live is like 4 hours away from Nashville.
Yeah.
Like, so you know what I mean? So it's like Chris can literally be in Kentucky, Virginia, and North Carolina, and probably Georgia before he could be in Nashville. You know what I mean? Like,
Actually, he did say he was in North Carolina, but he's from Virginia, so I had that. That's what I had me mixed up was. Blah, 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 blah. I
that's
can't.
why he's on my channel.
That's why he's on your channel. That's exactly right. Well, mother's from Virginia and is in Virginia, so I
Oh,
do. No, I thought it was interesting. Have you seen any coverage of like the gorge or boulders or anything like that? Those
yeah, I've
courses.
seen a little bit. Well, of course, I saw Caleb's ace, and then I
Mhm.
saw some of the collegiate stuff that was 2 years ago. I think was there. Is that right?
That would have been, I think, the year they started using the North Cove for collegiate. I think they've been using it for the past 2 years.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I think this is either the third or the second year that they've used it because
Mm.
they made some changes this year to it, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, didn't remember that."
Mm.
They've added a lot of OB. It's kind of USDGC ish the way a lot of it is with like marked OB and stuff.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
think about
unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I mean, I don't know. Okay, like I'm okay with it at like USCGC and these like big titles like
that?
that. You know what I mean? I don't like it at Emporia just because it's so windy there always. You know what I mean? It's like in the wind. I know because I just played Cherokee in like 25-mile-an-hour winds last weekend. Like it's hard enough to play in the wind, let alone putting OB lines up everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I don't know. Like I still want to go play USDGC because I've never played it. I know it's not going to have the lines in it or nothing, but I want to play it just to see how it plays.
Hmm.
But I would like. I don't know. There's parts of it that I'm okay with, and parts I'm not that okay. Like some of them, like some of the holes, like the basket's literally like right next to like an OB line or something
Hmm.
like that. So I'm like, "Ah, yeah." I don't
Yeah.
necessarily like that much, but um, I can see parts of it. I don't know. I'm not a big open course player, anyways. I like being in the woods a lot, so that plays a little bit of a factor into it as well. But most of those courses that use it too, it's an advantage to have a really big arm. You mentioned Caleb. I got to play with him.
Oh,
At,
oh yeah, I think you told me that. That's awesome.
yeah, it was. He's always fun to play with. I made that putt that day, and he was like, "That was the slowest 30-foot putt I've ever seen."
It's so funny.
I mean, I thought I was going to blow away. I didn't know if I could release the disc. Like it was a headwind, just like putt down a little bit down because you've played Sugar Hollow enough.
Mhm.
That hole one, I was up on the right side, like got right up behind the basket, and I was like 30 deep, and I was just looking down. I was like, and it's just I had to hold my hat to keep my hat from blowing off, and I
You just
started counting. Yeah, I started counting. I was sitting there lined up behind my desk, and I started going out loud. I was going, well, one, two, three, and I stood there for a little bit, and then I just finally, I was just like, just let go of it, and it just floated for about what seemed like 10 minutes in the air, and just fell in. And he was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, I don't know. It went in. I'm not questioning it, but yeah, he was fun to play with.
yeah, he's a good guy, man. I played the Halo course with him a couple of times, and
Is he Morristown
Mhm.
ish?
yeah,
Okay.
he's more so. Well, I mean, it might be like Whitesburg or something, but I'm pretty sure he's in Hamlin County.
Oh, okay.
He's such a good dude. He's humble to be as good as he is. You know what I mean? Like he's
It's
ridiculously good. Everybody around here knows it, but he's very humble about it. You know what I mean?
it's so funny now too because every single place he goes now at a tournament, There he is. There's the Mr. Ace, Mr. ESPN. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, that
That's
just started
funny.
making its laps again, didn't it? And he goes, yeah, Innova shared it again.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah. I was like, well, it's cool at least.
I should start selling it. You know, we sold him that at Halo, right? That destroyer he aced with.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we did. He told us that. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it's me or Brian, but I like to think it was me.
Y'all should get him to sign a Halo or sign like a Halo destroyer and let y'all hang it up.
Dang, it's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, $10. I'll
I
take
thought
10.
about seeing if he wanted to do a video together. You know what I mean? Something. I don't
He'd
know
be
what,
fun.
but
I really want to get Macy and Jamie. I've
yeah,
been trying to get them to come down here to play the Ridge. I don't know, and they've told me they would. I don't know how many times, and they always have something else going on.
mhm. I've got a couple rounds on the channel with Macy and Jamie.
I haven't. I've got to play with both of them. It's one of them. I had like a really cool. I'm trying to remember. Do you know Davis at all? Um,
I know him online. I've talked to him online several times, but I've never like met him actually in person. So
he's with Hannah that plays the Manis or something like that. She played a lot in that area as well, like Knoxville and Morristown. And I've told you, I think before. I did tell you because in the message you sent me was what motivated me to try not to play bad. It was the first time I ever played MPO. It was at Frank Loreno tournament that she hosted, Macy, that
mhm.
one that everybody flipped out about and went on. Remember,
I
they
didn't
were
know
all,
she hosted one.
it was like 2 years ago or something like that. And it was the one where she had an event and Todd helped her in from Knoxville. And then all
Oh,
the
okay.
Morristown people started
Yeah.
complaining about it and stuff. It was that event I went and played, and then I got put on. It was my first MPO tournament ever, and I got put on the FPO card.
Oh,
First
yeah.
round is with Macy, and I had long hair, and you said, "Oh, that's cool. You'll be the second best FPO player."
Did I say that? I don't even.
You told me that, and I was like, "Man, this is my first MPO tournament, and if I don't play better than the bottom people in MPO, I may not play on an MPO card." In my
Oh, yeah.
first pro tournament, so I ended up playing pretty good. But I played with her and Hannah, and then the second round I played with Jamie and Davis
Oh,
on,
that's weird.
and they were like, you've done something that probably not hardly anybody ever else has done before is play a tournament round with Macy and Hannah, and then the second round play with their boyfriends because I don't remember if Macy and Jamie were married yet or not. So it's pretty
That's
funny.
funny.
I got to play that with them, so it was a pretty cool little experience. But yeah, I would. Jamie's always fun to be be around. He always
Yeah.
walks up, Mister Daddy Delp, shake my
He
hand.
came, dude, Jamie's so funny. I can't even remember what it was. Oh, I remember now. So one day he came up to me like we were playing around, and they walked up and we like shook hands, did the bro hug and stuff, and he grabbed my hand and kissed it. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Bro, don't make it weird." And I'm like, "Me?" I'm like, "How am I the one making it weird?"
Oh my gosh, Jamie's funny.
Yes.
No,
Uh,
well, one thing I was actually wanting to talk about, I actually put a video out on about it. I think it was today or yesterday. I can't remember. So, I wanted to talk about mold minimalization in disc
mm,
golf. And
okay.
I don't know your thoughts exactly on it, but I do know that you minimalized your bag for
Yeah.
the sake of being sponsored. But uh, what my boy's in there, he in there freaking out.
I hear him.
You do? I was gonna
He
say
said, he said, "You better not minimize your dad bag. Your bad." I can't even talk. Minimize your dad.
your bag, Dad.
Yeah.
No, do you have any thoughts on that topic yourself? On whether that's something that people should strive to do or not?
Um, I do personally. I love for players to get their discs and learn them, stick with them, and know what they do because you played rounds with me before I threw RPM,
Hmm.
which I've had that one Kahoo in my bag for like 3 years now or something. But um, you know how I was like I played better, and this is sound like I'm ragging on myself, but I'm not. I'm just stating facts, and you could probably agree with this. I played above my potential because I knew what my discs did. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Because I threw that octane for 3 years. I threw that envy for 3 years. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
crave I had in my bag for 4 years. So like I knew exactly what they were doing. Wind, headwind, tailwind, left, right to left. I knew what they were doing. I didn't have to worry about it. So like I was able to shave strokes off. And that's when I had my highest rating is when I had a bag for years. You know what I mean? I was up to 910 and I
Hmm.
don't feel like or it might have been like 908. Right? I think it was 910 if I'm not mistaken,
Don't
but
backtrack yourself. Give
I don't,
yourself
I
the
don't
highest rating you said.
yeah. It was like 1108
10.
was my rating, something like that. I can't remember. It's close to that. But you know what I mean? Like I feel like and I do that now with like RPM. Like say something happened and I wasn't on RPM's team next year or something like that. I'm still going to keep some of those discs that I'm extremely comfortable with. You know what I mean? My Pekka Pekka, my Tuies. I'll probably always putt with Magma Soft Tuies from now on, just
Yeah.
because I'm more comfortable with them. You know what I mean? RPM team or not, I will probably putt with those for the rest of it because I feel like it's definitely helped my game because it felt right. They're soft and they fly perfect for my putt. And been able here, which you've not seen me since, but I've been able to flatten my putt out just a little bit. You know how I've got the hyzer putt.
Yeah.
It's not quite as hyzery as it has been. So I definitely think that minimizing your bag is a great choice. And I think you're talking about doing like more like 5 of this mold because you know what they do. And I kind of do that now just in different plastics. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, so I know like when a lot of people are talking about this topic, it's more so like instead of bagging an overstable mid, a different one that's slightly overstable, a neutral, a slightly understable, and then an understable mid is having going from 5 molds to having like 3
Yeah.
that do all those same things. So the best way that I would understand myself doing that would be like you would take that middle one or either the slightly overstable one
Hmm.
and try to get it in 3 different stabilities beat in. So having that slight to straight mid be your slightly stable neutral and understable or slightly understable mid. That was that. If you're gonna do it, that's how I would generally pick. I don't think you can necessarily pick on just a straight neutral one to get that, but it has to be slightly more overstable than neutral, I guess.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, getting it down, simplifying your bags always um, not a bad idea, especially at the beginning. But everybody always, when you first get into a sport, you just don't know what you like. So you're
Right.
gonna have a lot of different molds. But I have a, I don't know, I carry like 40 discs. So
Mhm.
if I minimize my bag, it would still be more than what most people
That's
carry.
true.
If you talk about like actually minimizing your bag, but for me, I just like I don't know. I don't care if somebody carries 10 discs or if they carry 40. If you're willing to carry that many, then that's how I look at it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. And I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, I carry a lot of discs, and I do have quite a few molds, but I also do have like a lot of the same discs too. Like I bag backups for my backups and I have different stabilities because I've got 4 Takapoos in the bag and
Wow.
4 envies in the bag still, and I have multiple reasons for those. It's either for losing one of the ones I don't want to lose and not have that shot in the bag, and then also I told somebody this too. It doesn't work over and over again throughout the round, but you can get away with using a disc that you like a lot and drying it off a couple of times, then eventually getting to the point to where, oh, I've got another one that's just like it I've not thrown yet.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to do it, and that one's just getting to the point where it's hard to keep dry, I can have a dry disc that's exactly the same and throw it
Yeah.
over and over again, and it's kind of like having a fresh one or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that stuff quite a bit. Or if you throw the same one and then you're like, I want to throw that disc again, but you want to throw from behind the disc instead of mark it.
Mm-hmm.
I can pick the disc that I've got the backup for it up out of the bag, because I think about that stuff, and I think a lot of people do too. Like, if I'm throwing a big shot, and it's not like an approach, like on a par four where I've got to throw a run up or something like that, I would rather step behind a disc than a mini. It's just me, because it's a bigger target for me to hit, so I don't have to think like, is my foot going to land behind the disc or
Yeah.
behind the mini and think about it. I feel like visually, when people can see that your foot's behind the disc, it's just less likely that somebody's going to say like, "Oh, that was a foot fault,"
Yeah.
because you've got a bigger space behind a mini than the mini is. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah. I
people,
can see that for sure.
it's like a mental thing for me. And there's also times too I won't mark a disc sometimes if I'm close to a tree or
Mm-hmm.
something. Like if you're right behind a tree or something, sometimes not marking gives you more space.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, or changes an angle slightly than marking the disc. Like some people just automatically walk up and mark a disc, and they're like, "I just marked that against a tree," like,
Yeah.
and then you can't take that back.
Mm-hmm.
And I
True. Yeah.
always do that stuff. So um, sometimes, whenever you want that disc, or if you want to throw that disc again, and it's helpful whenever you've got another one in the bag that's identical to it. So I mean, That's why I do it. So I mean, my stance on it is that if it makes you feel better, then do it. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't think you need to feel like you have to, because I mean, I mentioned it in the video. Being on RPM's team, I bag every RPM mold right now,
Mm-hmm.
but there are discs that I'm not going to beat to a point to where it's going to fly like another one I'm bagging that's not an RPM disc.
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to get a Huya to beat to the point of um, the Terra or something
Right.
where it's
Yeah.
going to get that much more glide and still have overstability. And I'm not going to beat a Kiwi that I've ever felt or thrown to the point to where it's going to be like a Terra or an Omen or
A
something
fire,
like.
even a Firebird for that matter. Honestly,
Yeah, and that's basically
you
what
know.
I throw an Omen for, is like a Firebird. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if I did ever get a Kiwi to that point, it'd either be a base plastic one, or it would be like
Be the one that you
40 years
started
old.
with.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
40 years old, and I've thrown it into trees constantly.
Yeah. That's like my Kiwi that's in my bag. Honestly, I hardly ever throw it just because I can do the same kind of shot with a Qatari. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
Huia. But like that's if I decide to keep the Kiwi in my bag, like that's it. I'm done. I don't need any more Kiwis. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
besides the old run ones, you know what I mean? But that's a complete different subject there. But
yeah. I mean, when it comes to like a disc actually getting retooled, I mean, that's a different thing. I mean, you can technically be like, yeah, I fill this spot with like you can fill two completely different spots with a Kiwi that's retooled, and then was there another one they retooled too? I'm trying to think. No, it's just that they had.
Qatari was retooled.
Oh, was it the Qatari
Yeah.
was?
But I don't know.
Is that
I
why
don't know
there's an
what that was.
821 run? Is that what that is?
No, I think that was before. I
Oh, okay.
believe. I'm not sure to be honest. But
Okay.
I know I've got a Qatari that if I held it up, it's in the room now. But if I held it up and showed it to you, you'd never believe it's a Qatari. because it is domey.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
very domey. I'll send you a picture after the podcast tonight. But
I've not ever had a Qatari that's got any dome to it whatsoever. Which I mean, that's why I like them for forehands now. I mean, I've thrown a Qatari a lot here. Which funny, I've thrown a Kiwi quite a few times here in tournaments, which I never was really thinking that I would be pulling them out that much. But that one is such a utility disc that I've been in spots where I've thrown it. I threw it at Harmon Hills at least once on the hole 13. Um, the one horseshoes. I
mm-hmm.
threw it on that one as my second shot because I peered the gap with my tee shot, but it smacked one of those trees early. And I was like, I'm just going to throw this thing on a super hyzer and try to get it to do like a grenade. And I threw it super high up over the top of the trees, and I just clipped a branch, and I fell down like 50 feet short of the basket or something. But I was like, if it hadn't clipped that branch, I'd have probably been spiking almost in the basket. So, I mean,
Wow.
it's a great utility disc, and then I've thrown it on like knife forehands to get that like quick
Mm-hmm.
flex stuff. So I've thrown it on that or skip shots. I throw it for skip shots a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But that and the Qatari, it's funny now. Like I throw the Qatari so much, and it was like the last mold I think I put in
Wow.
the
Yeah,
bag
I think I remember that you were talking about it.
because I was forehanding one of the flat Kahoos
Mm-hmm.
at one point, and then I was like, I'm just going to try these Qataris, give them a second shot, and I was like, you know what, this is working for this forehand shot, and I've been forehanding them anytime. I threw a Qatari probably more that Saturday round at Sugar than I did any other, almost any other disc. Or it was the driver I threw all day basically, except for like two drives.
Mm-hmm.
That was a driver. I was like, I can throw these things on any into headwind, and they're just gonna like drift and then
Mm-hmm.
come out. There wasn't anything else in my bag that I was able to throw like that day. So I'm a Qatari fan now. So once you get some of them Eric Oakley ones, I'll take 5.
They they are on the way to the shop.
They are.
Not that many though, but
Oh, they
I'll
are.
get
So you got me 5.
we ordered some. I think I only ordered like 4 of them or something. So I'm getting one. I promise you that. Oh, come if you can beat me to the shop tomorrow morning. Now they won't be
I
there
can,
tomorrow.
if I can beat you at the shop.
Well, I know you can do that.
Oh
Uh,
no. Now, so back with the bag stuff. I don't know. I know the positives for it, and I do believe in that as well because I've said it many a times. If you're not confident with the disc in your hand, then the chances of you throwing a really good shot are going to go lower and lower the less confident you feel with the disc. So one of the biggest argument that people use with mold minimalization is being comfortable with a disc. So finding a disc that you really love and then beating it into a bunch of different stabilities so that every time you pick that disc up, you know that you feel like you're going to throw a great shot with it.
yeah,
And and I get that, and I'm fine with that. So I don't mind people doing that. I just don't want people. Um, I don't like telling people that it's like something they have to, and then they misconstrue to like I've got this Kotare, and I'm going to beat it to the point to where it flies like a grace
yeah,
or something like you gotta keep extremes in mind. So I always would say at least have. I'm fine with at least having 3 molds for um, each category
hmm
and then minimalize from there because it's always good to have a super overstable and a really understable disc, and then anything in between. If you feel like you want to minimize there, I think that's safe to do. But I mean, I still usually have so many. I don't know. I've just got a bunch that I can throw, and I'm confident in them. So I mean, the mid ranges, like I was saying, I have a reactor and a hex in the bag, and the reason I had them in the bag was that to me they feel almost identical in
hmm
hand. So I mean, the feel is not going to be a difference to me. I'm so particular in mid ranges, anyways, that feel is there. I'm not going to bag a mid range really that doesn't feel good in my hand. I just won't
Mm-hmm.
throw it. I just don't like it, so I'll throw a different shot. Like that's just how my game has been. Because if it just doesn't feel good in my hand, I'm just going to be like, okay, well, you're just staying in the bag,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually coming out. So yeah, I think it's a good thing, but not go extreme with it.
Right. Like exactly what I mean, mother's saying exactly what you said. Confidence is key. And
Mm,
the way to build confidence is keeping the disc in your bag for quite some time. You know what I mean? Like, now I will say, while I've bagged some of those discs that like I said, I've had that Kahoo in my bag for 3 years now. It's because I got it before I was on Team RPM. You know, I've had it in there for a while, but uh, the little, as small as of amount of rounds that I play in a year, some of these people that are out here playing 3-4 times a day, they might, that might be 2 years in the bag for
mhm.
them if they play half a year. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
2 years of my rounds is what I'm saying. Like so confidence can be built that way. But I see so many times at Halo, and sometimes I'm like it's good for business, but sometimes I hate it because like really good players will come in and trade stuff that they just bought, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't know that yet. You know what I mean? Like it's not even beat in. It's still they bring it in, and it's almost it's hit 2-3 trees, and
Hmm.
that disc is not even beat in yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's great for other players because now they're going to buy it for a discounted price, 10-12 bucks for practically a brand new disc.
I've
And
done
you
that a few
right,
times.
yeah, you did that with that Pekka Pekka up there.
I did it with at least one or two Pekka Pekkas. I did it with that
Yeah.
Kotare. I mean, that thing had been thrown. But I mean,
Hmm.
those two Kahoos that I just got, um, I don't even throw a Kahoo that much really right now, unless it's a XG.
Hmm.
And I need to go test them out because I've got a bunch. But I mean, I did the same thing, $9.99 a piece, and they don't have a nick on them anywhere.
Hmm.
They've just been thrown, and I'm like, I'll pick them up just for the heck of it. I mean, who knows? I might throw them, but it takes time to learn a disc and figure out. And I see people doing that all the time. I'm like, why do you like
Hmm.
3 rounds or something like that and throw a disc and not know? I mean, I always look at stuff this way as well, is that if a pro can change a sponsor and play extremely good immediately after,
Hmm.
then to an extent, the disc doesn't matter or who makes it. If they want to throw with the cheapest company in the world, and there's good examples of that right now. I mean, there's plenty of players sponsored by a lot of lower level teams right now that are still competing and shooting well.
Right.
I mean, the disc is, or the famous, or the saying, it's not the arrow, it's the archer. Like, I
Right.
mean, to an extent, you can't hand a pro Walmart discs and expect them to compete on
Yeah.
tour.
Why
But
not?
I mean,
Franklin, bro.
Franklin, I mean,
Yeah.
sponsor. Uh, uh, there's something to say that it doesn't matter. Like, we've had two recent world champions come from people who just started throwing discs that they weren't throwing and had been throwing other discs for probably I don't know how many years
Hmm.
beforehand. I mean, Paul was with Innova for a really long time, and James was with Innova for a really long time as well. I don't know how long he was with them, but I
You're
mean,
right. I honestly, and I'm not to cut you off, but I think even you are a good example of that because you were on the Prodigy Street team 2 years ago. You'd never thrown a single RPM disc, right?
oh yeah, no,
And
no,
now you just said a while ago, you may not be throwing only RPM, but you're bagging every RPM
mhm.
disc and you're relying on Tui's for putting and Qataris for a lot throwing. Like, I mean, that's proof right there. You know what I mean? Even just in yourself. And you did, I mean, I'm gonna toot your horn a little bit. You did really good for MPO because you've only got a few MPO tournaments under your belt.
I'm pretty happy with how I played. One round, the Friday round kept me from probably top 3 or 5.
Yeah.
If I would have just shot like the other people did in the film or in the field, I would have been up there with
Hmm.
them. 'Cause I think I was only 2 strokes behind like 6th or 7th place because there was a bunch of ties or something like that too. So I mean, technically, I was only like a couple out of like in that 6th or 7th or 5th or 6th place. I don't know. I can't remember because I got ninth and I was tied with somebody. And I think there was a tie for 7th. So yeah, I mean, I test a lot of discs too.
Yeah.
People that a lot. I do a reviewing discs a lot. Gets you a lot of very small experience with different types of discs and fields. There's my airplane taking off. You hear it?
Wow, I did that time.
Yeah, that thing just all of a sudden tooted its horn. Um, no, so I mean, yeah, I mean, to at some point you could just kind of learn a disc and be. That's why I was like, I could probably bag a different disc for every shot that I needed and be fine. Yeah, this thing's making some sounds. I'm telling you. I'm trying to ignore it and stay focused, but it's squeaking and, and doing something weird. So I don't know.
He
I'm
said,
a,
"Oh." That's a pretty good imitation, right?
I need some WD-40 inside my computer.
That's probably not the best idea.
Well, I'm hopefully gonna be looking into a new computer here soon. So
Oh, cool. You
maybe
can
we'll
look
be
into one for
away.
me as well.
This thing's gonna die. The podcast might end early. This
What-
thing craps out all of a sudden. Uh,
Um,
Yeah, I've almost lost train of thought now after that happened. That razzed me.
I want to say one more thing about you're talking about like confidence with discs and minimizing molds. I think one thing that's really big for me is for players not to be afraid of baseline plastics.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
like in, I mean, not, no, I'm not saying go out and get you a DX destroyer. You know what I mean? But I'm saying like mid ranges and putters. Like I bag three for as my in my mid range section. I bag three premium mid ranges and three baseline mid ranges,
hmm.
and it's completely different shots. Magma Soft Kia, Atomic Kia. You know the difference in those. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
not quite. Maybe like this. You know what I mean? But uh, Strata Kotaku, dead straight, and then just barely dumps off at the end. Atomic Kotaku fades out. You know,
yeah,
Atomic P Walk and Strata P Walk. Like I think to me, I see so many times when people are like, "Oh, I don't want this mid range because it's baseline." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
no, maybe you don't throw it on the most wooded, rocky courses and stuff like that, but out at Cherokee and stuff like that, like some of your more open courses, then I think baseline plastics are great. You know what I mean? And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like I get more glide out of baseline plastics, and it's maybe because they beat up more.
probably. Yeah, I think the Magma Soft Kodaku is quite a bit glidier than my other one. After
Hmm.
I've thrown it a bit, here recently, if I know I'm going to be in the rain, I might not have done it one of the rounds this past week, but if I'm going to play around, I've started taking like 2 or 3 discs out of my bag and adding like 2 or 3 of um, baseline Takapoos in my bag or something, or adding more baseline putters because I know at some point I'm going to have to throw those in the rain. It's a lot better than
Yeah.
premium. So I've started doing that. I'll just be like, I'll take discs that I know I'm not going to throw, and I'll just be like, okay, throw some more baseline in.
Hmm.
And what was it Stilly said? Looking to get that Ezra build. I've already done that before. It takes too much work. I'm, I'm just trying to get in good enough shape to not die on a course.
No.
And I'm doing a lot more cardio. No, I used to do that working out and stuff a lot. It's hard with kids.
If you don't get that fan fixed, you might not make it to a course again.
I was thinking of explode and like shoot a shrapnel into my face.
Oh,
Uh,
that's funny.
we got what's up? Ethereal Warrior. Welcome. And an MC hip case.
Mm-hmm.
Like a
Hip
Halo
chase.
hip. Oh, I said hip case. I had to scoot way far away from the computer.
He's like,
Yeah, I went like this to try to hopefully keep some of the noise down. But
he's right. Look at that. I mean, it's
oh,
exactly what I was talking about. Halo Destroyer versus a Pro Destroyer.
I mean, and to be fair, like I mean, there's about 14 different runs of Destroyer that all fly different. That's one of those
Good point.
discs. I mean, there was a while back. You could find the etch marks on the bottom of destroyers and see the ones that match each other and the ones that don't. Where
Oh
they've
yeah.
been, I had something like that, and I had I think at least one of each, and I think there was at least three, which people were saying there were three different molds of it, and the wing of the disc looks different and everything, and they fly different too. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's sometimes it's easy to find that in the disc if you know. I mean, the Pekka Pekka is a pretty good representation of that as well. I mean, you can find good stability. I mean, right now, that's one place I can say I kind of minimize in my bag is that slot because I've got an atomic one that's like super hyzer flip to roller if I throw it crazy hard, or if I just throw it flat, it'll roll. Then I've got my glow one that's kind of like straight, slightly straight to understable a little, and then the mint one. I
Mm-hmm.
got three different flights in the Pekka Pekka right now, and that's basically the fairway that I'm using for that range, and then I just have overstable, like past it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Huya and Terra and Omen, basically.
You better drop the Terra for the Tara ET.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. I mean, heck, I might complicate my bag more. Who knows?
It might, yeah.
Might complicate it. We'll see. I just want to get them and test them out now.
We got
Cause
Mungo in here now too.
oh
What's up,
yeah.
Mungo?
Well, what Jacko had said to me was like it's just like a longer mint Pekka Pekka that won't flip over. Did you watch the videos on it?
Mm-hmm.
They put out.
I
So
did.
I can see if it is like that and it doesn't want to turn, then that is kind of similar to what I was bagging a Terra for. It would just be how resilient it is to headwinds.
Mm-hmm.
Would be the um the test for me. So we shall see. I want to get them and test them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, same.
now, was there anything else that you want to talk about with that little topic of the minimizing or anything? Really? I mean, I think I covered everything. We got off
Um,
track with my computer. Kind of derailed my
not
talk for a minute.
necessarily. Well, I'll say one more thing, and I don't know if I've said this here on the podcast before, but like, have I talked about how that I saw a video a long time ago about Dave Feldberg switching to being sponsored to a shop instead of a
Oh
brand?
yeah,
Have I already talked about that?
maybe I can't remember if we talked about it or not. I know we've talked about different sponsorships and pros and stuff, and I know we've talked about Feldberg. I just don't know exactly. I mean, you can go ahead and say it if you want. We only been on for 54 minutes.
So basically, what I was going to say with that is, I saw a video a long time ago. It's probably still on YouTube somewhere, where Dave Feldberg, he was Latitude 64. He was Innova back in the day. I think he was Prodigy for a small stint. He's been sponsored by countless brands in disc golf. You know what I mean? He's probably been sponsored by, I don't know, 80% of the bigger manufacturers. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
when he switched to Infinite Discs, being on Infinite Discs team, the way he picked his putter was he got all of his putters from all these different brands. His, I don't know, was it Black Mercies from Latitude, something like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember, but
Did he putt
all the
with
putters.
who was a Cenas putter at one point or
That
Sinus?
yeah, that's it. That you're right. It was those. Yeah, seen it. Yeah. So, but he picked all these putters that he had putted from different brands, and he closed his eyes and felt the rim and felt best in his hand. Now
Hmm.
that he has any range of putters on the market, the ones that he had used, and I don't know, maybe some other ones that he uh, just found that he thought felt good. He went with what felt best. So that proves right there confidence in your hand. You know what I mean? That definitely proves it to me. If
Oh, I
Dave
mean,
Feldman can do that, and he's how many time world champion? I mean, Masters world champ, but
I mean,
like
still competing.
right, exactly. So
No, I
that
mean,
for some reason that stuck out in my head, and I've told so many people that going into Halo when they're like, "What's a good putter?" And I'm like, "Yes." You know what I mean?
yes,
They're all good. It's what feels good for you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It's all what your preference is too. Because I mean, a putter. I've always said like you need something that feels good in hand. I've always said that. I if I don't have a putter that feels good in my hand, I'm going to be thinking about what it feels like more than I am
yeah.
the putt that I'm about to try to make. So I don't want to be thinking about that. And then you also got to take into consideration how you putt, kind of. To
Hmm.
me, it's either you got to take that into consideration or be at a level enough to where you can adjust how you putt to fit that putter.
Right. Minimizing what you're thinking
Hmm.
stepping up to the putt. You know what I mean? One
I
thing
mean,
that I do with that, and it sounds crazy, this may be dumb what I do, but sometimes if I'm in the circle and I walk up to it depends on the round. Sometimes I do just mark it, but sometimes I'll step up to the putt and look at it and I'll intentionally not mark it because I feel like it's playing a mental game where if I mark it, then I'm scared of that putt and trying to get closer to it. I know it sounds silly, but it's like for me, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You know what I mean? But I feel like it helps me with my confidence. If I don't mark it, then I'm like, I'm not scared of this putt. Does that make sense?
yeah. Okay, I'll tell you something that I do, and it's the same type of thing, but it's for I don't know. It'll probably make more sense if I just explain it. So if I'm playing casually instead of it being really around, like if I'm playing with people, and it's not for anything, it's not a league round or something like that, and we're just playing, I won't mark unless
Hmm.
it's just what I just putted with. I won't mark, and I putt, and I go. I'm practicing a slightly longer putt now. So whenever I'm in a tournament situation and I walk up to that same distance, I can mark it and be like, "Oh, this is a shorter putt."
Hmm.
Than what I normally was because I marked it. So I'll not mark when I'm practicing so that whenever I mark, I have that mental thing and be like, I made one from here the other day and it was shorter, and this is shorter because I marked it
Right.
or something. So I'll be like,
Similar. Yeah.
I'll do it like it's not that I'm scared of it. It's just that I'm trying to tell myself if I'm closer, if I don't mark, I'm farther from the basket. So I'm practicing a longer putt so that when I get to the same spots, when I mark it, it's a closer putt. So
Hmm.
it feels even easier. So I mean, I do that. So I mean, I mark sometimes if I'm by myself just to practice. But if I'm playing with other people and stuff, I'll make my putts longer with like the not marking it and stuff. So
Hmm.
I get that.
I mean, it depends on the distance for me. You know what I mean? If I'm so, and sometimes I do the opposite. If I'm like well outside the circle, I'm like this. This little foot is not going to matter. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
11 inches closer is not going to matter. I'm going to miss the putt. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and I'll do the same thing. If I'm circle two, or if I know I'm like 30 or 32, 30, 35 feet or something, I don't mark a disc. I'm like,
mhm,
okay. The only time I mark is whenever I just putted, and maybe if I'm at 35 feet and I had just putted, it's hopefully it has hit and rolled because I generally don't go that far past the basket whenever I'm putting.
mhm,
But if it does, if I'm going to mark it, and I just putted, it's because I always want to hold both my putters. So I'll do that. So I always want to have my putting putters in my hand, both of them. So that would be the only time I'd mark. But yeah, if I'm at like 35 feet or 30 some feet, I don't mark. I just go ahead. I'm like, it doesn't matter. These are a circle 2 putt no matter what. The extra,
Mhm.
I was like, like you said, generally, if I putt good, that extra couple inches is not going to be the difference in how hard I putt. I'm
Right.
putting the same putt no
Yeah.
matter what. So I was like, I should make it from 35 the same as I make it from 35 and 8 inches. Like,
Mhm. That's true. Yeah.
so that's how I look at the circle 2 ones and stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's something to that. I think the putter feeling the most comfortable it can in your hand, and then like I said, there's some putters like I just wouldn't ever putt with because
Hmm.
they don't feel good in my hand, and then they don't have glide. And putt, I would have a putter that has decent glide than one that doesn't.
Hmm.
But that's what you gotta keep in mind because I'm a spin putter generally, so a push putter is probably gonna want a different disc than what I'm gonna want. Like ideally, not every
Yeah.
time. Some people push putt and spin putt with the exact same discs. It happens all the time, but
Hmm.
it just depends on like Ricky's going to putt. He putts way different than I do, and a lot of people. So I'm not
Yeah.
saying to try to emulate uh, any people, but yeah, I'm with you on that. It's all about mostly not all, but it's you need to have every disc you can possibly get that feels good in hand
Hmm.
to be confident because that confidence is key and that's the biggest thing we can take away from that stuff is that almost every pro has or has at least had a bad putting day
Hmm.
and putted like trash, but the day before and the day after they're the best putters in the world.
Right.
It's not technique only gets you so far if you can't get out of your head.
Hmm.
You can you can do good all you want, but if you start having the negative thoughts and are not concentrating on your putt, then that's I think that's way more important than having not thinking about the disc that's in your hand is going to be what helps you on that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're not thinking about anything else but the putt in front of you or the throw that's in front of you, that's it. If you're sitting there thinking about, man, this feels weird in my hand right now, or I can't grab this disc right here, the rim feels funny or something like that, then you've lost a little bit of the battle already.
Hmm. I
You,
100% agree.
but so that was the last kind of thing you had on that
Yeah.
you were
I
going to
mean, it
mention.
really was. I will say that I had uh, while I went on that spiel about sometimes I don't mark it because I feel like I'm afraid of it. There is a YouTube short on my channel where I said that in a round with me, Pickle, and Jacob Standridge, I think, or Dylan. I think it's Dylan, and where I was like, I'm not going to mark this because if I feel like I mark it, then I feel like I'm afraid of it. And I putted and I hit barely low on the cage. And somebody commented, they're like, but if you marked it, you actually would have made the putt. And I was like, I got nothing, guy. You're right. You're
Touche,
correct.
touche, salesman.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
got
it's true in that particular case, but I don't know. I just feel like it just helps with the mental side of the putting, you know?
hey, if it helps you on the mental side, then I think it's a good. It's not wrong. I think if it
Hmm.
helps your mental game, then it's not bad. Some people have weird things they do, um, and then some people it's just like, hey, let's just go play disc golf.
True.
And they don't think about it, but I've played with both. I've played with extremely weird people.
You don't got to call me out live on the podcast,
Yeah,
yeah.
I played with this one guy one time that every time he got mad, gosh, I had a message come through or something on here, and it was super loud on my headphones. Um, this one person, every time something bad happened or something, he would do push ups.
Oh,
Yeah, and it was in a tournament too. I was like,
yeah, that's kind of
he'd be talking to himself, and I look over and he's doing push ups. I was like,
okay.
"Where's the drill sergeant?
Uh,
Did he just tell you to drop?" No, I had something I thought would be cool to think about and talk about. Maybe was Out of the tournaments that we've seen this year, which one would you most want to play or go on your list that you want to play?
I'm gonna say LBC.
Oh, you actually want to play the long boy.
I not no not I don't remember which one it is, but the one that's got like a couple water shots and it's got the three islands.
Oh, the one that has like the islands with the drop zones.
Right.
Yeah,
It
they're
just
like
it
that.
seems fun to me. I love fun courses. You know what I mean? Like I like to go play around and be like, that was a fun course. That's my main thing about disc golf. Play if I play good or bad, I'm like, it's fun, you know, like
Hey, in the comments, um, leave a course that you would like to see me and Basinger go to, and keep in mind we're in Tennessee and Virginia, so keep it maybe like Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, or
talking
something.
about
If
like
you know courses
La
there,
Mirada
yeah. No, if you want to see that, it's just never gonna happen. I'm sorry, unless somebody photoshops it, that's just never gonna happen.
Photoshop it.
But
Just go watch Gavin Babcock's round out in California and then
that could
you
work. Yeah,
got the same.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then Basinger can go and play and Photoshop himself on the same holes and stuff with it. No, so you would want to play LVC. I can't remember. Is that the end of what they called the factory course at one point, or was it?
I don't know. There was one that was like Wild Horse, and one was Innova. Then they had uh, what Infinite Discourse, Millennium. I don't know. I don't remember, but I just think that that one's so it looks fun to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just think it looks fun. I know I don't have the arm for a lot of those holes, but just and I'm not even that big of a. Of course, I like when I can. I'd like to play some of Tim's um, courses that he does. The
oh, the hybrids.
hybrids. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word, but I'd love to play more of those. And it's not necessarily, but because I'm not a long bomber player, you know what I mean. But it's just different. I like to play different stuff. You know.
I would like the only reason I would like to play some of those courses that's on tour is just to get a gauge of what the level actually is.
Yeah, I did that at Isle Wild.
I've not played there. I've not played there. I want to play. I've not played a course in Kentucky
Mm.
ever. Um, I've only played a course in Georgia, and it was not a good one. It was in Hilton Head. It was that one. I can't remember if I sent you the map of it. It was the one that had like 4,000 lines all across it, and the park was literally max 500 feet long
Hmm.
and smaller width wise, and they had an 18 hole layout. It was just like I don't know what to do out here. There's just lines everywhere on this map, but so I want to go play some of those. What is it, IDGC?
Oh yeah, that's another one that I want. I honestly thought about. I think right now I'm at 97 courses, and I want my 100th course to be something big. So we need to plan a trip to
Well,
something.
that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I don't know. I keep getting people saying Maple Hill
I'd,
in
I'd love to
comments.
play
I'd
Maple
like to
Hill,
play
man.
there. I just don't know how far away it is.
That's what Minnesota. Is that right? No,
Thanks.
no, Maple Hill's in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. That's
I was
right.
thinking of Blue
I knew it
Ribbon
was one of
Pine.
the M ones. Yeah, you the what's the one that you were just saying?
Blue Ribbon Pines,
Blue Ribbon. Yeah, I've heard that one's cool too.
and then Kayla Visca's
The Preserve.
serve. Yeah,
He's got like, is it one course still or is it two? I can't remember.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think there's like two or three courses, but what the pros play is a mixture of like safari design.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. I would like to play. I would love to play Maple Hill because it looks so pretty.
Yeah.
I think it looks really cool. I would never go at any point in time unless it was warm.
Hmm.
It just looks like the worst time ever, even though it's pretty. Whenever I see people out there playing and their discs slide 400 feet because it's ice.
Yeah.
Nah.
No,
I'm gonna
I'm not.
break an ankle, and I'm gonna be mad, and then I'm not gonna have fun, and somebody's gonna have to drag me out of here
Yeah.
in the snow, and it's gonna be hard to to survive. But if it's warm, I would like to, because that guy that I talked to about his camera setup a while back, the Noah guy from Daily Disc Golf. He's got a pretty good sized channel. I haven't seen anything in a while, but he plays. I think he's from up there, and he's always like they're always out there throwing, and it's like there's snow year round, almost what it looks like half the time. Half his
Yeah.
videos are in snow. I'm like,
No, thank you.
no, but I'm trying to think of what course I actually would want to play. um, that's been on tours so far this year. I'm gonna have to say it's probably gonna have to be one of the Texas courses. I think I would want to play the one that they play for Waco. Is that one called the Beast
Hmm.
as well?
Brazos.
Do what?
Brazos. The,
Brazos, yeah, the
mhm.
Brazos East or something, or is that what they
Yeah.
call it? Something like that?
Yeah. Brazos East, which they call
Beast.
B East
East.
Beast. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to play that course because it's got some really cool, unique kind of shots to it. Like
Hmm.
they've got that in and out of woods, which is something I've always talked about. I thought would be is the way I would like to see disc golf going on the pro level, is that you have the open shots and then you also have the wooded shots that kind of rewards both. Doesn't necessarily rewards, but it gives the advantage to different groups at
Hmm.
different times. People who are really good at throwing accuracy, wood shots, you still need distance, but there is some sort of distance. And then on other holes, big bomber boys can go and try to make up strokes on those holes too. Uh, so I think that's the way um, I would like to see a lot of courses go. Maybe not necessarily the same type of woods, but I think it would be fun to play that course. That's the one out that I've seen so far this year. Because I don't know that I would play the one that was, what was that tournament, the Open at Austin.
Hmm.
I would like to play it just to see just how weird um, the OBs and stuff was on that one. But I
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't place it over playing the Brazos East course. I think that one would be
Right.
cool. In Music City, that one's just so close that I know it's not like crazy close, but I just know that it would be one that I could actually think about playing one day. So I wanted to choose something that's out there
Hmm.
more, and I
My
North Cove. So I mean, I've seen it.
here's my hot take for the night. Like, and I keep in mind I've not watched any of the this year's Music City yet. This is strictly based on last year's and the year before's, but those those courses at Music City just don't appeal to me whatsoever.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying they're bad courses. It just doesn't. It's not the kind of golf that I like to like. You watch these courses, like just like exactly what we're talking about right now. You see these courses. I think the main reason I'm picking that LVC course is because I've seen it for so many years, and it's like that nostalgia. You know what I mean? But you see these courses over and over, and you're like, oh man, that'd be so cool to play that. Like when I think of those Nashville courses in my head, I'm like, no. Like
yeah.
Seven Oak, I played Seven Oaks in Nashville. We played that with Logan Bowers and had a blast at that course. It was a good mix of open and wooded, and some very wooded stuff. You would love that course, I think, Josh. Like
Mm.
it would set up really good for your game because you got those long shots and stuff. But I don't know. Was that weird to me? Like those courses don't hit that little bell in my head of like, oh, I've got to go play those.
I get that because I can only really I can think of two holes right now off the top of my head from there, but only one of them was one that I was like, that's. I don't even know that I would actually want to play that one for enjoyment. It would just be more curiosity to see what the actual hole plays like. Is the one
Mm-hmm.
that has the OB on the left and then the tree line OB on the right, and then most pros are playing. They throw like either a hyzer or a flex shot and try to get kind of close to the gap, and then it's like a 400-foot shot to the basket that goes into like a really tight tunnel, and there's like really nasty woods on the right side that has the OB line in it. I don't know what hole it is, but it's at that Music City course. That's the only one that I can really think like would be cool just to see how it plays. Not necessarily the type of hole I want to play, but I want to
Mm-hmm.
see. But like I can understand that because that course doesn't have like a lot of, I don't know, visual appeal. I don't guess.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, exactly what you're saying. It just don't. There's not a lot of holes I remember. The only one I can think of in my head right now is I think they have to hit like a gap, small gap, and then go uphill, and there's like one big, huge tree, and the basket's like under.
Mm.
And that's
Yeah,
literally the only hole I can think of. And I can't think of other holes. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't watch enough coverage or something, and I've not re-upped watching it this year yet. You know what I mean? Maybe I watch it this week if I get time and completely change my mind, but it just doesn't feel. I don't know.
and I think I mean, coming back to playing with MJ, he was just talking about that. He just, from what it sounded like, he wasn't a big fan of like some of the changes they've made to what is it? Is it Mills or something? Is that the name of the park that course is
Mills.
at right now? Or I
I'm
don't know. I can't remember what the name of that park is that they're playing at Music City.
not
Um,
sure.
it didn't sound like he was a big fan of some of the changes that they've been making to it. Just he liked, I guess, the way it was originally kind of
Hmm.
designed. Which I mean, coming from somebody that has been playing those courses a lot, him, not me, him playing, like even listening to him talk about Warriors, like he really liked a lot of the old Warriors. And a lot of the players that's been playing for 20, 30 years feel the same. Like they're like, this is weird. I'm
Hmm.
playing Warriors, but it's not Warriors the way
Yeah.
that they look at it because they've played 1 through 27 for so long now. And it was even different before then.
Hmm.
Like whenever,
Steady Ed helped
Ed,
with the original design.
yeah, whenever he designed it, like hole one was like a not even hole one. It was
Hmm.
some other hole, and they had a different hole in there. So I mean, it's interesting to see that kind of change in their I mean the change is happening because a lot of people throw a lot farther now.
Hmm.
So they're trying to make courses hard by adding distance and also the spectator thing.
Hmm.
And I understand why I don't like that. That's the reason why courses are being more open.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know. I don't know that it does that much more to have people there. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know that it does that much more for the sport to have people there to sacrifice better holes for longer holes
Yeah. I
or
was.
to manufacture harder holes just by having them in an open field with a lot more OB. Like
Mhm.
I don't know that that actually does that much more for the sport, in my
Yeah. I was actually going to say exactly what Mother just said. Spectator money. I think that pays a lot of the purse and stuff like that. Maybe not
opinion.
the purse, but like advertising and stuff like that. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
maybe it helps on the advertising side and stuff, but I know a lot of these events too you can go to for free and watch. Like
Yeah,
a lot of them. I mean, some of them you have to like. I think DDO. Yet, do you have to have a spectator pass
I
because
think you
it's
do
on a
for
golf
almost
course?
all of them. I know Nashville had spectator passes.
I feel like I read one somewhere though where it was like come and watch, and it was like you just showed up. I mean, and it was
Yeah.
free. You didn't have to buy a pass. I don't remember which one it was. I could be wrong, but I feel like I know like the DDO, like whenever you get those spectator passes, it's like it's a whole thing. Like it's you get a players pack as well.
Hmm.
So I mean, you're getting advertising and stuff, but you're still having to spend money on those spectators at the same time
Yeah.
too. They're getting player packs just like the people playing the tournament that are playing the AM divisions and stuff. They're like $100 player packs or something like that. Like so, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like there was a place that you could go. One of the events, I can't remember where it was. I was looking at it, I was like, is that free to just go watch? And I saw it something. It was like, come and see pros or something. I could be wrong though. I don't remember. I'm
It
blanking on
could
what.
be just it could be one or two that they do in different places just to try and get more people out there. You know what I mean?
Because I know some of these
It,
pro tour events are in public parks,
mhm.
so you can't,
Maybe
because there's walkers that
right.
people are in danger all the time, so they're not charging the walkers to come. I'm just wondering if like they have spectator passes that get you like either guaranteed areas to spectate, or it's just part of the event to where you get the experience. Like you get to be part of the event, kind of, and it's
Hmm.
not a have to. I can't. The DDO, I was wondering because it's actually on a golf course,
Hmm.
and that's why I was thinking that one you had to have a spectator's pass because that was the only way you were going to get on the golf course.
Maybe it was Arizona
It
because
might have been Arizona.
that one's at a public park. You know what I mean? So
I
maybe
mean,
that's
Brazos in that's in a public area,
yeah.
and
I think so. Yeah.
um, the Open at Austin, I think that's a private area and stuff. But I'm assuming the place in Music City, I don't know, but I'm assuming that's some sort of public park area as well. So it's kind of hard to regulate that unless they actually put fences up or something like that. So I don't know. I was curious about that.
Mm.
What does that say? Viper.
He said VIP. He meant VIP. He or she.
Oh, okay. I was like, Viper. Who's Viper? I want to meet him.
Yeah. Going back a little bit to what you're talking about, the distances and stuff, how MJ was saying some of those more distance things. I I think you and I both agree that like that's kind of hard to see that happening to the tour, which is what's seemingly happening. But I also am aware that it's somewhat necessary because how far the players are throwing nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with the courses having like big distance shots and stuff. I just don't like seeing a course that's what it's all based around. Is like and especially if it's an event where that's the only course you play.
Yeah,
It's different if you have like day one is this course. It's bombers all day. Then day two you're playing Northwoods Black or something like that. Heavy woods, distance included. So it doesn't matter if you can throw 600 feet if you can't hit a gap and throw it 20 feet. Like
right. Yeah.
so, I mean, it's whenever it gets to the point to where it's like you see the events where it's all like big distance and stuff. Like I mean, there's one of your um, pros that's been around for a while and it's just like I don't really care to play like that event. Like I know he's not necessarily um, their worry really anymore because they've got all the young guns coming up. But I mean, still,
Mhm.
it's a pro that's been around for a long time. But everybody knows he's Woods guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
so I mean, it's not. I understand. I like playing Woods too. So I mean, um, I see both sides of it. I just would wish that there was a way to incorporate both. That I think it would be good. I don't even think it would be something wrong that if it was taken to like how golf treats their stuff. No, I mean you go to a golf event generally. I've not been to one, but I know how they go. Usually, you're not seeing the entire round.
Right. You
100%
stay in one
of the time,
spot. Yeah.
really, you're not seeing a the whole round. You're picking a place that you want to see, and you're seeing that for a while. And then maybe you walk off and go find another spot on the course, and you're like, I want to see this hole or see what they do from the green or to the green here or something like that. So having areas that are strategic to where people can set up and
Hmm.
do, but like making it to where that's the whole basis around a course design to where like every hole has to be accessible to a group of spectators. I think it's just like not necessarily a necessity. Like
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
be like, all right, we're going to have spectator groups here and here. And then once they come popping back out of these two holes, there'll be spectator groups here, and you can see down that fairway or something coming out or something like that, just so that it keeps a mix of the course in instead of having it to where the group has to follow the cards the whole time or something like that, because that just
Mhm.
doesn't really happen. They have, like I said, in golf, it's everything marked off. You see them down the fairways and stuff, but those people aren't moving with the card. They're staying there and watching that hole be played, and they want us to be like, I mean, a lot of people want to see that. I mean, you get on a hole where you're seeing people smash 700-foot downhill shots or something like that, and that's what you want to watch. And be like, holy cow, like, look at that. Like, he almost aced it or something like
Or
that. Like,
ace runs. Yeah, exactly like it.
yeah, like that kind of stuff. So I think that would be a good a good way to keep the spectator part in without it having to be the whole course catered to the spectator.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like. I mean, I guess I could just uh, if you like that way, just see only local events, but because I mean, it's whatever it is. They're not doing it to every single course. I mean, it's nitpicky at a point, but I mean, I've heard a lot of people be like, "Well, I mean, we've seen how many golf courses now this year
Right. Yeah.
on coverage, and we're only five. Is it five events in?
Hmm.
And we've probably seen almost that many golf courses.
Right. We've not seen. I mean, Waco was
Waco
the
would be
most
probably
woods we've seen, and there's a lot of open on that course.
the. Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing is it used to be like you would see LVC and then you would go so many tournaments kind of without seeing a golf course style.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess in Music City, it's an open course, but it's not technically, I guess, a golf course.
Hmm.
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know if it's, I guess the place that they're at isn't a golf course. I don't really know, but I don't think I saw any greens on what I was watching. I heard Yuli and them say, "Is this a permanent course?" So I don't know if they're at a location where they're putting baskets in or changing a course
Mm.
to fit the event, which is fine too. But I do know that they had a lot of new like deck, like elevated tees and stuff built. So I don't know if that was one of those things that they built for that event or what. So
Hmm.
yeah, I was just curious on that side of things with the courses because I think we just randomly got onto that topic because we were talking about courses we wanted to play.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I don't even know how we pulled into that one.
I don't
Um,
know. It was a good discussion, though. I mean,
yeah,
honestly.
it was. I don't know. We've got to figure out when we can actually get a good trip for some content because I want to do some content filming here at some point. I know Stelly was talking about USDGC, which I've never played, so I want to play it. I want to play
Mm.
their IDGC. I just don't know how far that one is from me.
Um, I think for me, we looked up IDGC one time. What was it? 4.5 hours, 5 hours from here? I think 5 hours, I believe, from where I'm at. So you probably take about an hour for Cherokee. So maybe 6 hours for you.
It takes me longer than an hour to get to Cherokee.
Oh, wow.
It takes me like almost. It takes like an hour and like 40 minutes or something to get to Cherokee.
Cherokee Park?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, is he talking about Cherokee, North Carolina?
Oh yeah. No, I don't even know how far it takes to get there. Is that what you were talking about?
No, I was talking about Cherokee Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it just hit me. I was like, wait a minute. Maybe we got our
Mr.
ooh, Pickle.
Pickle,
What's up, Pickle?
how are you?
We
He
talk
said,
about Pickle on almost every podcast.
"Yeah, we do." How far are you guys willing to go? Me just depends on um, if there's anything going on that weekend and if Basinger's free and it's close enough, kind of. I don't know. I feel like for me, almost like that 4 hour range
Yeah.
is about going to be almost my max without me having to plan it like a tournament and like stay somewhere,
Same. Yeah.
do
That's
something
what I would say too.
because I don't generally go much farther than 2 hours for tournaments and stuff.
Mhm.
So I mean, I would just have to plan it pretty good because I mean that's going to be about the range for USDGC. I think with 4 hours from me.
Mhm.
There was some place that you and Randy were talking about in Chattanooga, I feel like, and it was like exactly four. Like you all mentioned like three places or something. They were all 4 hours from me. Like
Yeah.
I was literally like in a triangle, the center of a triangle of it. So I mean, I think that's about if I'm going to get to a place that's I've not played that is like a what do you say, like an iconic
Yeah.
spot for me to get to. Like, there's plenty of other courses I can get to in 2.5 hours or something like that. But
Mhm.
to one that's iconic that I've not played before, um, is going to be at least probably that 4 hour range. Because how far is um, Idlewild? Is it 4 hours? Probably.
How far was Idlewild? I mean, it was like 6, wasn't it?
Oh, jeez.
5? Is 5? No, 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 no. IDDG. That Georgia is what we're talking about. Idlewild was 5. So 5 hours. It might be a little shorter for you, Josh, because you're
Maybe
more
that's what I was
north
going to
than me.
look. Yeah, I'm really close to Kentucky, and I'm just close to a lot of states other than the coast of my own. Um, Let me see. I've been looking it up. Idlewild. It's 184 miles. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah.
184 miles, 4 hours and 16 minutes. So about everything is a geographical oddity to me from old brother Warth.
Crazy.
I'm about 4.5 hours or 4 hours 15 minutes from everything.
That's weird.
Yeah,
What are
because
you
I'm
in, like the Bermuda Triangle
yeah
of
the
Virginia?
Estonian Triangle.
Estonia.
Or USDGC. That's Winthrop. I
You
guess.
got nothing but a fantastic restaurant and 2 disc golf courses.
Hey, we got a lot of restaurants now.
Do you?
We
Hey, I
do.
love that. I don't know. We've only ever ate at that little burger joint. That me, you, and Pickle ate there that one time when
Oh,
we
Dairy
went up.
Lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then me
There's
and
a
you went there
lot
last time.
more in town since you've been, I think. There's a brewery, there's
Wow,
a coal fire pizza uh, restaurant, there's another restaurant across the street. Everything's like within like half a mile
dang.
of the course, but there's at least let me see, I can tell you right now, one, two, probably at least like six restaurants in that half a mile range that are all like
Oh,
not like um Burger King, McDonald's. It's like
mhm.
homegrown
That's cool.
restaurants and stuff now. So you got like, and there's a lot of stuff going on with them. Like I said, one's the brewery, which is another burger joint, and they got some homemade, not homemade, I don't guess home. Like they got their own brew that they do there, and
Craft
they do
brew.
other stuff that they keep on tap there, and then uh, two pizza joints and stuff, and another one
Mm.
that's more like nicer, like steaks and stuff like that. So I mean, there's a lot.
I
There's a lot.
love that kind of stuff, bro. I'm not even joking. I hadn't been able to quit thinking about that ranch.
There goes that messenger again, right in my earball.
Is it here?
It's so loud. Uh, yeah, I was looking. Winthrop is 165 miles for me, and it's 4 hours and 2 minutes. So yeah,
No.
I can't remember the other one that was in Chattanooga, but Chattanooga is basically like 4 hours for
Was
me.
it the Sinks?
Maybe
I feel
y'all
like
were.
it wouldn't. I don't know. We got to make that happen too, man. Randy's such good people. He's
I
such
know.
a
I
good
wanted to
dude.
play with him. I think he'd be fun. 185 miles for me to get to the sinks, and I
Oh,
bet you that's 4 hours and 15 minutes.
probably.
Oh, heck. What the heck?
The Sinks only would take me hour and a half. Chattanooga's hour and a half.
3.5
Two.
hours.
She said 2 hours. See, there you go.
It says 3.5 hours to me one way, and then 4 hours and 46 minutes the other. I don't know which way it's trying to take me that way, but that's a bad way to go. Add a whole hour and 10 minutes to the trip. Who's gonna pick that? I just want to drive
True.
more.
Hey, Pickle, I got to play 9 holes with Adam and Jake this week. I don't know if they told you or not.
Yes, earball, mother, earball.
That's your word.
That is mine. I was trying to think. Yeah, so we're gonna try to figure that out. I know y'all had some suggestions for us to do some rounds. I thought that'd be fun. Maybe if we can get it planned out, we do need to do that to where you do your 100th course on like whatever. Cool.
Something. I want to do something big. You know,
I mean, heck, I can tell you this: if we're driving 4 hours to go somewhere, you're at like, well, you said 97, right?
I think I'm at 98. I need to add up and see. I don't remember, but I think I'm at 98. So I think I got one more course and then the big dog.
Oh, I am 4 hours from Charlotte too. So like Hornets Nest and all those places
Mm.
too. I've never played. I'm like 4 hours from there.
I played Rennie Gold.
Oh, I want to play that place. I do want to play there. I've never
Found
played
out I
any of them.
was not the golfer for Rennie Gold.
Found out. No, I
But
mean it would be easy. Like if we planned one of those trips to just like stop at a 9 hole course or like a easy 18 hole course, get you 99, and then your 100th be
it's true. Yeah.
be that one. Because I mean, driving 4 hours, we're going it's going through whichever way you go. We're gonna pass them.
Hmm. Josh, I'll let you answer this question in the comments here.
Where is it?
Blake
Blake
Loggins.
Loggins, is the glitch a good putting putter? If you ask Dale Seal, yes.
Is he putting them?
He has. Let me tell you what. He played with me at the Ridge Friday for our last rated round. Man, I don't know how to get this Facebook Messenger to stop dinging in my ear, but I'm going to
Close,
go deaf.
close Facebook. I had it happen earlier.
I could do that, I guess. Good choice. Um, um, no, he came and played the last rated round we had there at the Ridge this past week, and he had, I don't know, it had to been like 110 feet of putts or throws, whatever you want to call it, in like 2 throws in the basket with his glitch. I was like, what the heck
Dang.
is going on? Like he had, I'm trying to remember the first one. He made one that was like an actual like big putt. I can't remember. It was probably like a 40-foot putt or something, or 50-foot putt just uphill, and jammed it. And then it was like 4 holes later, he was like 80 feet uphill, putting down, putted, and it was gliding, and his glitch kicked the tree limb. It flared it up, and then it just dove straight to the left and just went no, like hardly no change, and just fell into the cage. And I was like, what the heck? And he goes, yeah, that made my round right there. Yeah. I was like, that's because it was going. If he hadn't hit that, he was probably going to be like 30 or so deep of the basket, but it just flared off of that branch perfect and just dove into the basket. And then like hole 15 or something like that, he was like 70 or 80 feet away from the basket in the middle of the woods off the fairway, and he threw his shot and it skipped off the top. I was like, what is going on with this glitch? So I mean, yes, long answer, Blake. If you throw like Dale with the thing, it'll probably go in or come close. I know you're messing with me, Blake. I know. I ain't even gonna. But I was telling you real life situations. It was blowing my mind, and it was raining too the whole time. So I was like, I don't understand what's going on.
I can't wait to play his course, man. Maybe that can be 99.
Do what now?
Dale's course.
Oh yeah, we do got to get up there and play it.
I know.
That one wouldn't be too hard to get to. I
No,
swear, is that the way that you come from Morristown down?
dude, I don't know. I hope not because last time I went up there, I was like driving through the mountains and it was like you've lost GPS signal. I'm like, great, I'm dead. I'm
I was,
literally going to be dead out
I
here.
was telling somebody else about Jonesville and or going through Jonesville, and they were like, it's just hard to justify like going down there sometimes whenever that's the only course you're gonna go. And I was like, well, you can go like the other way and go up, and you can maybe play what's it called, Lehman or something.
Yeah. Well, we just lost Josh Delp. He's just gone. So I guess hi everybody. Welcome to the Basinger's Disc Golf Channel podcast. I don't know if he can rejoin or what. I'm gonna wait around a little bit. Oh, here he comes.
What
There
the
he
heck?
is. What'd
Why'd
you
you
do?
take me
You
off my
left me.
screen?
You left me. I was so scared.
I was
You
sitting
lost
there.
GPS signal up there
Yeah,
in
I
the
was just
mountain.
sitting here. Then all of a sudden, it was just like I was back at the thing where it said "Enter Studio." I was like, "What just happened?" I was like, "Am I still here?" Wow,
I,
that was
I,
weird.
I like froze. I'm like, wait a minute here. I'm like, this is his podcast, and I'm
Yeah, it
just
just
here by
did like
myself.
what was it? Where it puts you up or something, just main screen. Is
Yeah,
that what it did?
it just went full screen to me. It was weird.
That's crazy. I don't know what the heck happened. Okay, but yeah, I don't remember who I was talking to whenever there, but I was telling them that you came in that back way at some point, and Dale was talking about he kind of drives one of those roads to get back to where he's from. I don't know, but I think it was somebody that was from like the Morristown area or Rogersville or something. I don't remember.
Dude, I've drove that way 2 times. The first time was me and Griff came up and played Lehman with you. And the second time was that last time I came up by myself. And the first time, like, me and Griff were like, we're going to pick up breakfast on the way. And there was literally nothing. We had to stop at a Dollar General and get crackers and Vienna sausages for breakfast.
I found Vienna sausages can on the course the other day. It
It's
was
probably
you.
mine. No, I'm just joking.
It made its way down to Fraley. You down there playing without me. No, that's pretty funny. Yeah, there is nothing until you get to Pennington, which is way outside of breakfast range whenever you're planning on eating when you leave the house.
I found that out.
That's pretty funny. Let's see, what did this one say? What's Staley say? He's talking about me being in the backwoods or something. Delp is so far out there that when West Virginia selected for her. Yeah, listen,
Uh,
we were supposed to join back, and it didn't happen. West Virginia was supposed to join us back, so we would be just, well, we would still be Southwest Virginia, but
yeah.
y'all would be part of us. But you're not, and you're missing out.
All right.
Well, what did Mother say? Deliverance vibes. Hey, listen, it ain't that bad.
I told Stelly in the comments a little while ago about how I saw that black bear last time I left your town.
Oh
I was
yeah, I forgot that you saw it. It was at the college or something, wasn't it, or near it on the side of
something.
the road?
It's like if you go off of that exit where that McDonald's is and go down the highway, it was at some like college or church up there on the right. And I was like, well, there's a black bear just
Yeah, because we've
chilling.
been talking about it being on the course
Yeah.
like the 2 days prior or something like that. It had been on there, so yeah, it's pretty funny. I
It's
haven't seen
funny.
it this year yet. I know
Mm.
it's around, but I ain't seen it yet, so we shall
He's just
see.
sleep. He's a sleepy boy.
Hey, there is mother, uh, what we call wood booger.
Yep. Pickle already said that in the comments.
Did he say it? I missed it. Was that when I disappeared for a minute,
Maybe. He
or was
said
that
they're
this?
called wood buggers up Delp's way.
Yeah, we actually have a restaurant in Norton called Wood Booger Grill.
That's funny.
It's actually pretty good.
Is
They
it?
got some good burgers. Yeah, they got a It's like the people who own the Mexican restaurant next to it opened it because they wanted a sports a sports bar and
Sports
grill
bar.
type of thing. And in order
Mhm.
to have a bar, I think the town required to sell so much food, so they just decided to make it a burger joint with a bar.
Mhm.
And they got this stuff. It's called a Cuba Frita burger. It's got chorizo on the burger and stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so
Oh,
good. It's great. They actually have a challenge too that you can do, and win like a T-shirt or something like that. And I don't know if the burger's free or something if you finish it, but it's called like something with the wood burger. But you should go try to beat it,
I'll beat it.
huh?
Beat it.
You
I
would?
will. Yeah.
Okay, we're going next time
Okay.
before the round.
Before the round,
Yeah, turn into a wood burger.
we had a guy that used to try and give us some ideas for videos when we used to do a bunch of challenge videos. He's like, y'all should go in the middle of the summer, go to Long John Silver's, eat that, and then drink milk, and then go play around.
You just want me to shart my pants constantly? Oh
No,
my god,
that
that would
that
be
would be a horrible round.
that would be just so bad. It'd be like doing that challenge that people were doing a while back, where you try to eat like as many of those sugar-free gummy bears as you can.
Mhm.
There's like making people like giving them like X-lax like symptoms, like they've had
Oh
X-lax.
God,
Yeah. Let me say, challenge videos do not do good on my channel. So I don't know. I think they're fun, but they do not do well on my channel.
yeah, they did good at one point in time on my channel, but now, dude, I'm not getting on that rant again. But
even
YouTube's crazy.
even playing disc golf videos on on my channel don't do good. It's just review something, and it does better than actually playing the sport of disc golf does.
Dude, they just kind of they want to streamline you into one specific thing, and I don't know why they don't do. The creators at YouTube need to do a thing where you fill out what categories you think you could fill in, and they can research from there, and then just we could just put disc golf. We're disc golf channels, you know what I mean? We do podcasts, we do review. I've not done a review in a long time, but I mean, we've got like 40 reviews on our channel or something like that. You know what I mean? A bunch. We do rounds, like we do everything is related to disc golf, so they need to have a way you can like streamline yourself into that instead of this is just a podcast or this is just reviews, or you know what I mean. It's crazy to me.
No, it drives me nuts because I've looked up, and I'm sure you've done it a lot too, is just trying to figure out what's going to do good and try to get a good video, and then you do something and then it doesn't do that good, and then somebody else does the same video almost to a T and it gets like 3,000 views in like a day, and you're like,
Yeah,
why? And they only have like 800 subscribers. I'm like, why does that video do good there and not? Are you buying them?
yeah, I know.
Are you buying your views? I don't understand how this works, because you try to do everything the same, and I mean, it hits an algorithm.
I really thought that gatekeeper media video was going to do good on my channel,
Oh
but
yeah,
like Derek from Gatekeeper literally sent me discs, one that he custom dyed himself, and did a unboxing and a round with them, and it's like I don't know, 130 views last time I saw, and I'm like,
it's so
we don't.
nuts.
It's bad because I know there's people who would want to watch it. You know what I mean? I know there's more than 100 people that want to watch that. Like,
Well, it's the same thing with like with challenge videos and stuff. Like I've tried to do ones that are entertaining enough. I mean, heck, I did hot sauce and stuff, something that's just punishing enough, and other videos it does good. So there's an audience out there that wants to watch that style of
mhm,
video, but it just doesn't get filtered to them
yeah,
for
it's
one reason or
crazy, man.
another. So yeah, it's kind of sad on that side. But comment down below if you want to Bass Singer Delp challenge video, YouTube. Not a video, a channel.
That seemed very hard for you to get out.
It was because I was thinking about it on the spot. No forethought.
That was basically verbal constipation, is what that was right there.
It was. I did not have my sugar-free gummies before I said that. Uh,
Oh,
hey, we did that at the same time. Well,
mhm.
is there anything else you kind of want to talk about? I mean, I just had those random topics like the bag thing and just talking about some of the courses and stuff. So, I mean, and just hanging around. So,
um, I have one thing. If you got a few more minutes to talk
what's
about,
that?
what are your thoughts on old Castaplast 64 these days?
Oh, so about them with their retiring molds and stuff.
Yeah,
I think they made a bad decision on
yeah.
at least one of them.
The CAC Z?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was one of their really good mid ranges or whatever it is, fairway drive or mid range, whatever it is. That was a really good one, I thought. The Grim and well, did they do away with Grim
Green
and
X.
Grim
Yeah.
X?
Yeah. Grim and Grim X and then CAC Z. I
I'm
just started
starting.
calling them Castaplast 64 nowadays. So,
Well, the Grim, I think that's fine unless they wanted to change all of its flight numbers and just make it a different disc because its flight numbers were not what it, or at least the one I reviewed, did not match what their numbers was. The Grim X was a little bit better, but it's kind of redundant now whenever they made the gold because the gold is a. I thought it was just better than the Grim X
mhm.
and the Grim. I just liked it better. Um, but the CAC Z, they want to make. I don't even know their reasoning either. They
From
want
what I understand, they said that they were just having way too inconsistent with their runs and something about overlap with the Grim and Grim X and Gold, like
well, that's fine.
kind of
Get
what
rid
you
of the
said.
Grim and Grim X, but why the
Yeah.
CAC Z? Like, come
Well,
on.
they've
That was
approved another mid range too called the Stig that we just ordered at Halo. And it's I can't remember exactly the number. It honestly sounds similar to a Peacock to me. It's like 5 6 -3 1 or something like that.
well, I
I
know,
can't remember, but
like it said. Didn't they say something about like they wanted to make room for more molds or something like that? So like you don't even have a full bag though.
right, yeah, it's crazy.
You don't have a full bag because you don't require your players to unless it's a production thing to where like they don't have the means, which Latitude 64 is their thing now. So I mean, you would think they got enough. Um, I don't know. That's so weird because now Latitude 64 is owned by something else.
Hmm.
What is that? House of Discs?
Something like that. Yeah,
I wonder if they had something to do with it
I mean maybe.
because Latitude 64 just got bought by House of Discs with Dynamic Discs, and then Latitude 64 was it part owner or owner of Castoplast?
I think part.
So part owner of Castoplast, and then maybe they're making the big decisions at Castoplast, and they're like, we'll just
I also think that it may be something about like, excuse me. You may not know this because you've never been like as big as a like MVP guy as I was back when they were better, but they so they had I want to say they retired 7 8 molds or something like that, and it's when they moved into a different factory they said that their new molding machines wouldn't fit the dies for those molds.
maybe.
So now I'm wondering if it's something like that where they've went in house with Castoplast and they're not creating as much as they're set. Because if I'm not mistaken, Castoplast makes some and they still make some, right? I
I
believe.
guess I don't know. I could. I feel like it was going to be something like that. Like they were going to be kind of almost how Latitude 64 was doing with other companies. Kind of like how they were doing like some of the runs of
Yeah.
stuff or like doing certain lines. I was thinking that they were going to come out with a different line. Was what I thought would happen.
Mm.
and continue with the Castoplast stuff. But at the same time, I feel like if it was one of those problems too, then they would retire like every mold.
True, but that also MVP didn't do that. They didn't retire everything
How many molds did MVP
they
have?
had. Do they retire the Axis, Tensor, Vector, Vertex, Shock? Um, gosh, I don't know, man. What was that other one? Clash, maybe, maybe not Clash.
Yeah, you're into a bunch of discs I've never even heard of. So
That's what I'm saying. Like they were retired before most people even knew much about MVP. You know, like
I'm just curious because I mean they didn't have that many molds really.
right of the particle. The particle was basically MVP's Envy. It was the same as the Envy, but just black rim, pretty much.
What do they have right now? That is
Nothing.
the ion.
Nothing. It's not that stable.
Because I know the theory behind the way they make discs is what's the proxy then? Is that axiom?
Mm-hmm.
So the
But
envy
it's
and
understable.
the proxy are both axiom.
Axiom, yeah. And
And
they've got like the ohm, which I think is probably like a flatter top proxy.
they got the
If I'm
entropy.
not mistaken. Entropy, which is a zone.
Yeah, really beefy.
Right.
I know what somebody had said before was like the way that they used axiom and MVP was to like fill really small gaps between other discs so they didn't have the same disc at each company.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was thinking the proxy and the envy, even though they had both had colored rims, I hadn't thought about it, were because they feel really similar in hand, almost the same.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking one was one company and one was the other because it would fit that mantra, like
Mm-hmm.
a stable envy, slightly less stable proxy, or whatever. So,
Right.
huh,
No, they had the particle, which is basically, and they even had it in that neutron soft plastic, which was like the most overstable envies
hmm,
at that time. I don't know about current day because I don't throw them anymore, but uh, and they just retired it for whatever reason. I think they said there was too much overlap for the envy, but it's like that's kind of what you want because some people only want the black rims, some people want the colored rims, you know. So
maybe that's why they put the entropy out or something like that. It was like the overstable. It's a bigger gap between the envy and the
mhm.
entropy. So I don't know. That's interesting. I didn't like. I thought the CAX Z was one of their better discs. So I liked it when I reviewed it. That thing bombed so far. Went really far. I think I had like throws with it like almost every time going like 340 to 360 or something like it every time. And one I think went like 370. I was like, these things just go far and straight. I
Dang.
liked it way better than the CAX.
Mhm. I don't know. It's weird, man. I just wanted to bring that up because I feel like it's a weird situation. They don't even have a lot of stuff right now. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know what the heck. I mean, we could count them up. It won't take long. It's like Rask, Grim X, uh, Gold, like you said. Well, I'm trying to go down from driver down,
oh,
thinking
yes. They got a stall.
Lutz, Falk, Stall. Mid ranges would be Cax Z, Yarn ish, Spay. That's
Uh,
what 11.
yeah, what's
Berg, Rico, and Rico X, and that's
the
it.
goat? The
14
goat.
molds.
The
Go,
goat.
go, go. So what? Less than 20 molds for sure, and
Yeah,
they're
and then they
retiring
just
three.
eliminated. Was it four?
Three. Grim X, and Cax.
Did they keep the CAX and
Yeah,
not see? That's stupid.
yeah, it's weird.
Because the CAX Z was really good. I thought it was way better than the CAX. So yeah, I don't think I think the Grim and Grim X are fine to go away because they did have the gold, even though it
Mhm.
takes away from their molds. But um, yeah, I thought the CAX Z was a really good one. So I don't know. I think that one was a drop. So unless it was just one of those situations where I don't know. Sometimes weird stuff happens with like molds. Maybe they only had one and something messed up
Hmm.
on one of them, and then the other one they're just where they were talking about with the consistency and stuff. The Grim, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of it. The Grim or the Grim X, so the gold was a better disc. So they probably wasn't selling them.
It's weird that you say that because like at Halo, for instance, like we've probably the first runs are always going to sell because of the market value. You know what I mean? So discount, like don't even think about those. But when we ordered stock golds, we
Mm-hmm.
ordered five. That's it, because they would only let you order five when they first. They do a weird thing where you can only do limits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We ordered five. We still have three of those, and that's
I think it
a
felt
while.
better in hand than blue.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
think
was weird.
Castaplace, honestly, I think they ruined themselves because Castaplace sales a year and a half ago when we first got Castaplace, 2 years, I don't know, they were outstanding. Like it was like, wow, Castaplace is going to be up there, kind of like what Lone Star's doing now,
Yeah,
making that big push. And Castaplace, honestly, is one of our least sellers now.
yeah, it's weird because they
Weird.
were hot. I mean, I was dying. I reviewed every Castoplast disc I could because every time I reviewed one, it was like a minimum of like 800 views
Hmm.
because they were flying so much. And is it not weird that Lone Star is the sponsor of Music City Open?
Yeah, that is weird.
I was looking at it. I was like,
You'd think Prodigy would be.
they usually always do, don't they?
Yeah. I guess they got outbid or something.
I guess.
Daddy Disc Golf. What is up? Wait,
Whoa!
we got Daddy Disc Golf
I
and
was like,
Daddy Delp Disc Golf.
hold on, I didn't comment.
Hey, guess what?
Logo.
Another Josh.
Another one.
Another Josh. That's four Joshes here tonight.
Daddy Disc Golf on with Daddy Delp Disc Golf and
I
Bass
don't even
Singers.
know what to do here.
That's
I gave
cool.
you a shout out recently, Daddy Disc Golf, on video I did. Derek from Gatekeeper sent me a couple of your stickies with some discs. So it's now on my water bottle.
Listen, I already changed my YouTube name once a long time ago.
Did you?
Yeah, I was Disc Golf Dad.
Oh, was you?
I was a Disc Golf Dad starting out, and then somebody had that YouTube name and messaged me. It was like, "Hey, did you know I had that?" I was like, "No, I didn't. Didn't know that. I just was trying to come up with something like that." And then they were like, "I'm planning on doing some more stuff. I know I'm not that active right now." And I was like, "Okay, it ain't that big a deal." I think I had like 200 subscribers or something at the time. I was like, I guess I can just change whatever. And I was like, Daddy Delp Disc Golf kind of rolls off the tongue and stuff. And I went with it. And now that YouTube channel still has the same amount of subscribers it did when they messaged me, and they don't put videos out at all
That's funny.
anymore. But
Uh,
and then I found, then I did see Daddy Disc Golf, and I was like, I'm glad I put Daddy Delp, like,
that's funny.
because that would be another one that had it first.
That's funny. He just taking everybody's name. You just want to use my last name for your
I was
channel
going to
too?
say I'm going to change my name to Dad Singer.
Baysinger's
Dad Singer.
friend. Baysinger's friends disc golf channel.
Guy who was on Bay Singer's Disc Golf channel.
A number of times.
That
Oh,
is
that's so great.
Hey, listen, I've went through my whole life with people calling me Delp. That's been my thing because what's I have to call you Delp. My wife had a problem. No, dude, it's funny. I go on course sometimes and they're like, "There's Daddy Delp," and then they're like, "It's kind of weird." God, I don't know, Daddy
Staley.
Delp. Some
I
people
wonder
are
if Staley
different.
goes to watch the podcast. He's like, I'm gonna go talk to Daddy and Fatty.
No, I've had some people say, "What's going on, Dad?"
That's
And
funny.
then they're like, "I don't guess that's weird." It's like, but if I call you Daddy, it kind of is a little weird. Patent pending. Who's that? What? Oh, Oh wow! I want to go see it.
That's cool.
I want to go see it. I've not seen looked up to see what happened, but
It
okay.
looks
Now,
like Scott gave Simon a patent pending panic, and he threw it at the All Star event. Scott is hot man here. He
oh okay.
threw our Scott actually threw the second traveling disc, which was an envy that Daddy Disc Golf sent to me.
Oh,
He threw it at Fountain Hills. True
and
story.
I didn't ever get to do that. All I got to do was sign that one that we did.
Yeah, it's up there. It's hanging on my wall.
It's up there.
The AVR, the old Pat.
Yeah, the AVR didn't it have like didn't one of them have green or something like
Yeah, it's the green.
uh
It's the green AVR. Well, I can't, St. Patrick's Day. I couldn't think of it. I just
what's
gave up.
your favorite color stamp?
No,
I still
I
the
don't.
Kia that
Green
you
stamp.
gave me is the one I actually bagged because I like it the best. That big old green one. You gave me a green one. Did you know that?
The what now?
You gave me a green Kia, and that's the one I bag and I throw. Even
Oh
though I
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
and he was like, if I give away a disc, it's this color.
Wait a minute. I'm
What?
confused now.
What?
Is Hot Man not Scott? I'm
Well, he said, it's Scott. Haha. Right here.
Hot Man is Trevor. OP.
Wait, what?
Oh, Palooza. Oh, okay. I see. I am
I
Scott.
don't. I
We
don't
just
know.
got like we're not even talking. We're just reading the comments and just
I don't know
replying.
what's
Phoenix,
going on.
Arizona. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, you
Phoenix,
threw Scott.
Arizona.
You threw the
Oh,
traveling disc, correct?
huh?
Oh, he okay. I see. Hot man. We just got. Yeah.
Yeah, we got all kinds of just like I met this and stuff. I can't keep
I
up with the comments right now because I'm trying. I got stuck on Phoenix, Arizona too there for a second. My name is Jeff.
So we got. uh I don't know. Never mind.
Hey, so we're Joshua Aaron. Nice
Yeah,
to
we
meet
are
you.
both Joshua Aaron.
We got a Jad and a Jeff.
I've never met Josh Scarf in person, but I've talked to him a lot online. I used to get a lot of discs from him.
Why do I know that? I feel like I know that name. Maybe you've said it before, but
He's been on the channel for throwing the OG traveling disc, so
maybe
maybe that's
that's
where you know.
so.
Yeah,
Well, now we're into the rambling mode. So,
yeah.
um,
I'm gonna say one more thing in the
what?
rambling mode. Josh Scarf, Daddy Disc Golf, you need to get some of this in your shop. Get some RPM.
Yeah,
He said, "Look at that."
get the pekka pekka,
Yeah.
and then if you can get a hold of some Magma Soft Tuies, then me and Basinger will get them.
No,
I
not
mean,
you, just me.
and then by that I mean me. You got at least 5 sitting in
Listen,
your.
I've got at least 8, but we don't got to bring numbers into this. All right, I need them. I found them first. Calm down.
Yeah, I don't care.
He said, "I don't care." I gave one to my lovely lady Amanda as well. She
Aw,
got a pretty little yellow and purple Kobe.
I've got a yellow one. I don't know
Kobe
if it's
Chewy.
purple stamped though.
I gave the other one to Pat LePage. Josh knows him as well. And I need to see if he's still bagging that. If not, I'm gonna try and get that back for
For me,
Amanda. No, not for you. Calm down.
for me.
Uh,
Let's see. If y'all come to Winthrop with me this summer, I have a black RPM towel for both of you. We have to share a towel.
what is he gonna? If we start sweating, is he gonna like dab our
Yeah,
faces?
yeah. I'm down with that.
What a
Okay.
guy, man! He's just
Oh, great.
yeah.
Although he's getting some Lone Star discs in the mail.
Daddy Disc Golf. Do want to make it to USDGC this year. Pat is the man. Yeah, Pat is the person that I drove to. Well, he drove. I rode with him to play USDGC course with like 2 years ago.
There, I've got to go. Stelly, they said, what did he say, July or something? Was what him and Ben were planning, I think.
No clue.
Well, we got to get it. We got to figure out a course that we're going to go to and do it. I know North Cove is one calling the name here at some point, even though it's an open course. It would be a fun one to film, I think. Some really cool shots you can throw really far.
Yeah, no, I can't.
He said, yeah, no, I can't.
I can throw twice.
Twice as far.
Twice as far. I can throw twice as far as a June bug. That's about it.
Not if it holds on to it and flies.
That's a good point. Any weekend into July still is.
I got to check my July. That's going to be really hot.
It is.
I'm gonna buy a golf cart and tow it there and put like a big old canopy on it. I'm gonna stay out of the sun as much as possible. He said he's going back to the meme lab. All right. Well, I think we're probably at the end of our pod of the cast.
Pod of the cast.
Yeah. And I was trying to think of a game to take the place of, and I just couldn't come up with anything snazzy enough yet.
Maybe our good folks in the comments here can leave us some game ideas.
Yeah, Stelly needs to come up with some, or he can just message. But yeah, I think that's about it. We're just getting to the latest time frame. It is now dark outside.
Yeah, I've got a Matt Hughes documentary to watch. So.
Oh, you're just now watching that? You're behind.
Huh?
You're just now watching that? You're behind.
Have you seen it already?
No, but I know who he is.
No.
I used to know. It's been a while since I watched any like UFC like documentaries or anything like that, but I used to watch them a lot. I used to watch a lot of the old school ones and stuff. So I've got UFC 1 and 2 on DVD.
I've got UFC 1 through like 150 on DVD.
Well, that's a lot of DVDs. Hey, it comes in handy with having DVDs. We've got a lot, and our power went out there like a week ago. I've got that. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
It's our current watch.
It went out there. Oh, well, it was last week. I couldn't do the live.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And once the power came back on, our internet was off for 3 days. So we watched DVDs.
That's crazy.
Because we didn't have TV or internet. So we did a lot of just stuff around the house and put DVDs on. And Charlotte watched The Little Mermaid 45,000 times.
45,000?
Yes. That movie is not that long. I would put it on and I'd walk through the house.
Don't tell my children that.
I want to watch Little Mermaid. I'm like, I just turned it on and it'd be in the credits. I was like, what happened? Did you fast forward to the entire movie? But yeah, we'll let you get off there and watch old Matt Hughes beat faces.
All right. This was the weirdest end. You should have just clicked end right there, and that's it.
I want to say thanks to everybody that's been in the comments and stuff. And
Yes,
if you're still on here, leave us some ideas. If you've got anything that would be better than the game that we used to play, if you're familiar with the show, Stelly, or I don't think Mother's on here anymore, but something related to the discs or something like that, give us an idea. And we might try it because I like to doing that, but it was really hard to figure out whenever we were tied to get tiebreakers and stuff. So thanks for watching. I'll let Basinger say anything, final comments.
Once again, thanks. Just like Josh said, just going to basically copy him and say thanks to everybody in the comments all night, the ones who were there early and left. And then please, if y'all are subscribed, if you're not subscribed to both of us, make sure you subscribe to both of us, please.
Yep.
And please, anytime you see a video of ours come up, please comment. Please like it and comment and help bump us back up in that algorithm and stuff, because YouTube hates me right now in particular. I don't get
Hates me.
And it's hard when you get out of that algorithm. And I constantly got new videos coming up, 3 videos a week. So, Josh, I know you got a ton of videos coming up all the time as well. So,
Yeah, I've kind of backed down to 2 a week right now because where I've been doing so many tournaments
yeah,
and stuff, I haven't been able to get out. So I've went down to 2, but been trying to get shorts out every day. But that is even hard in itself too. Sometimes whenever I go and almost make shorts out of every shot in a video, then it's just like, okay, well, all the shorts just in a 15-second clip a piece or something. So I'm having to try to break through and go through old videos sometimes too to find them. But yeah, make sure, like you said, like and leave us some comments and stuff. It helps out, and leave us
and
some
share.
share and leave us some ideas if you want us to talk about stuff um, that we haven't talked about yet or anything interesting. And make sure you come in next week on Singer's channel. I mean, technically, I guess it'll
Yours
be on
too.
both channels, but
Yeah.
it is the mainstay on his channel, no matter what, for the whole discussion where we are starting Harmon Hills finally.
Can't wait.
Me either. I love that course.
Yeah, same.
Well, that's all we got. Until next time. Peace.
Thank you
Awkward
all.
outro. Oh my gosh, he
Have a
went
good night.
rocker. He went
Rocker.
rocker.
That's metal.